everyone, and today you are getting an extra special review. I wasn't planning to review this book or even planned reading it this month, but I did, so I thought I would do a review on it because I just have a ton to say. And that book is going to be The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I don't know. As you probably know, I was not planning to read this month at all. I actually attempted to read this when this book first came out, which I think was, it wasn't this July, I don't think. I think it was last July. Yeah, it has to be last July because the second book just came out in this series, I think last month. I attempted to read it a long time ago and I got to maybe 100 pages and the story was so confusing, so frustrating. I was so hard to follow, so many different characters going around. I was like, forget it, I can't do it. I cannot do it. So I had to put it down. Now, fast forward to a week ago, I see on Twitter how much Jesse from Jesse the Reader and Ariel and Arabisette are talking about how much they love this series and how much they love it. And for some reason, I just kind of focused in on that. I was like, they love it. My bat sense or my whatever went, wah. Is that that's not bat sense. That's Aquaman, isn't it? Anyway, I just heard them talking about how much they loved it, and I was like, maybe I should give this another chance because they just seem to love it so much, and I usually generally like a lot of the same books that they love, so I decided to pick it up again and brave it through the first 100 pages, and let me just say, I'm so glad I did, because once you get over that initial 120 page hump, that huge hurdle of a book to get through, you will fly through this book, or at least I did. I was throughout the whole time I was reading it, I was oh, on this page, oh, I went this much through, oh, I went, it was crazy. Oh, I will say, if you, like myself, tried to read this book and had to put it down because it was so freaking confusing, I understand you, I get you, I was there with you, I understand your pain and your struggle you're going through. What I will tell you is, once you get over that 120 page hill, huge cliff or whatever, it does get better. I'm not saying that for everybody. For me, it got a lot better. The story got a lot more, it made a lot more sense. I understood it. I understood the characters and the character jumps we were going through the whole time. And it just kind of all connects and it has this one integral plot that you will understand. Now, the first 100 pages, I think Maggie has really had to build up a lot, had a lot to say about different things. I was confused as, forgive me, as hell when I was reading the first 100 pages. I was like, what the freak are ley lines and what do they have to do? I had to freaking look it up online. Freaking Glendower, what is that one guy's name that has a really, really weird name? Barrington Welp, who the crap is that? Why are there so many different characters? What's with the psychics? With me, with that first 100 pages, I'm like, what? That's all I said. But trust me, when you get through that, the story flies through and you will love it, hopefully. So yeah, let me tell you what this book is about. Basically, this book is about the supernatural. Here's some more in depth. We have Blue, who is she's not a psychic, but she lives in a psychic household. Her mom is a psychic, her aunts are psychics. It's one big happy psychic family, and they are not the Madame Cleo psychics, calm you down, da-da-da. No, they are legit real deal. They can touch an object and they know stuff about you. They are freakishly good at it. With all the psychic blood in her family, you would think Blue would be a psychic, but she is not. She's actually kind of a supercharger to her family. She's imagine, if you will, a battery. If she is near her mom or her aunt or something while they're doing stuff, it makes the room more clear, it makes the psychic energy more. She is the Energizer Bunny that just keeps going and going and going with the psychic stuff. She helps the train keep chugging along. Psychic. Well, every St. Mark's Eve, which I forget exactly what that is, Blue goes with her mom to this church cemetery thing, and they see or at least her mom actually sees all of the almost dead or dead souls kind of pass through, and Blue always goes with her mom to help supercharge it and help it help her mom see clear. But this year she actually sees somebody and he talks to her, and his name is Gansey, and that's not giving anything away because it says that in the description. And that is basically what this book is about. We learn more about Gansey and stuff like that, so yes. I will say I'm about to spoil soon, so if you haven't really read this book, I would not recommend watching any further in the next couple minutes. If you have read this book, stick around, let's talk about it. If you haven't, go ahead and read it. You will get over that 100 page huge confusion fest, hopefully. And yeah, if you haven't, just try to brave through it, because I really think this series is such a unique series that you will want to read it because it's so different and so refreshing from other YA that I just think you should try to just power through the first 100 pages and I think you will be happy. So with Blue and all that stuff, we have Gansey. Now Gansey is on this hunt for this ley line, which I didn't know what it was, which ley line is pretty much a line of like supernatural energy, I think. If I'm wrong right now, I apologize. He's looking for this ley line so we can wake up this great king, Glendower. Is that how you say his name? I think that's his name. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. But by the way, this story is in Henrietta, Virginia, which I have been reading a lot of books about Virginia, which by the way, I am from Virginia, so I'm just like, what's this thing about Virginia? Trying to find it so we can wake up this great king that supposedly was like, I think he was like kind of buried alive, and he's just still alive in his tomb and stuff. So whoever wakes the great Glendower receives an eternal favor. Now, I don't think Gansey's after that favor, but he is on the hunt for Glendower for specific reasons, which I will get into later. So that's his thing, and he has these 4 friends. He has Noah, Ronan, Adam, wait, no, just those 3 friends. 4 of them total. Friends, who's Adam, Ronan, and Noah. And together are like called the Raven Boys because they go to this school called the Abylonian. I'm butchering this school, so they're just, I guess, called the Raven Boys. This book is told, I believe, in this ominous fourth point, so we don't really get a clear point of view of each one, but the chapters kind of switch. Like one chapter is like strictly from kind of about Gansey, one chapter is about like kind of Blue, one chapter is about like Ronan, one chapter is about Adam. There's even a couple chapters about Barrington Welk. So it's all about that, and it was confusing the first 100 pages to get through that. Like I was like, I don't know who the crap all these characters are. Like there's so many new characters happening, and I'm like, really? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I loved this story. This series is so different from Maggie's other series, which is called the Shiver series. It seems to have a bad rep here on the BookTube community, but honestly, I quite enjoyed the Shiver series, despite the last book, Forever. I thought that was a train wreck, but I enjoyed the Shiver series, and a lot of people hated it. So every time somebody says they hate Shiver series, I'm like, I kind of liked it. It was just one of the first books I read before BookTube, before I even knew BookTube existed. Yeah. I will tell you that series, this Raven Boy series, is way different from Shiver series. So if you're looking for 100% romance stuff, this is not the book for you. There is barely any romance in it, I will tell you that. It's so different. I can honestly say I have never read a book like this one ever before. Like never. I've never read a book about ley lines and kind of psychic stuff and on the hunt for this great king, and just it was so different that I loved it. Talk about characters. First we have Blue, which is pretty much our main, I'd say she's one of the main protagonists in this book. Well, they all are, but I'd say she's the sole female protagonist in this book. I really like Blue. I don't feel like she is completely girly or completely sarcastic. Usually I think we get either one in a series, honestly, but I feel like she's a happy medium, and I think she's a good female protagonist. Like I like Blue. I love hearing what she says. I feel like she's very calm, and she is just really interesting to read about. I love reading about Blue, so I'm excited to read more about her. Now, then we have Gansey, and I love Gansey. Gansey's one of my favorites. I just think Gansey is so unique and adorable to me. Now, Gansey is like super rich. The good thing about Gansey is he does not shove that fact in your face, or he doesn't try to. Like, he's very good at trying not to shove, hey, I'm rich, down your face. He doesn't care about money. Gansey solely cares about finding Glendower. That is his life mission. And we learn that because of what happened to him when he was really young. He I think is allergic to wasp, and he got stung like so many times, and what happens is that he gets taken to the hospital, and I think he's about to die, or he did die. Forgive me. Gosh, I really forget a lot after I read a book. And the great Glendower or something comes to him, and he says, one person has died when they should not, so you will live when you should have not. Like, I think that's how they say it. So after that, Gansey has made it his life goal to wake up Glendower, I think, to like thank him or just to do it, because that's what he feels like he should do, because he got that second chance at life. So I really love that about Gansey. I can't wait to see more of him develop. Like, I think he's just a great character. He really cares about his friends. He would do anything for his friends. I really love him. Because we also know that Blue will, there's a thing that says there are only 2 reasons a non-seer, which is Blue, would see a spirit on Satan's mark Eve. either you're his true love or you killed him. So Blue knows that if she kisses her true love, he will die. Chance that Gansey is her true love and she kisses him and he dies. Or there's a chance that Blue has killed him, so we don't know. Or there's a chance Gansey never dies, which let's hope for that one because I don't want him to die. And let's talk about Adam. Adam he might be my favorite. He's got that kind of deep, tortured soul to him. He has this very, very tough life where as Gansey comes from all this money, Adam does not. He lives in this really old trailer park. His dad is terrible. He's working and he has a partial scholarship to go to the school because he wants to do better things for his life. In this whole book we see Adam struggle with the money thing and just him, and then something with him and Blue progress happens, and I'm okay with it, but I'm just like, I kind of want Gansey. But I love Adam. I think he's a very unique character. I want to read more about him. Ronan is like the tortured soul. Like his dad died, and his dad died with this deep, dark secret that Ronan knows, and Ronan has a brother who he does not get along with at all, and all that kind of stuff. And Ronan he has this weird tattoo on his back that like changes and stuff. And we learn at the end of the book that Ronan like has these dreams, that he can control dreams, or he just has these dreams, stuff like that. Like Ronan is just like the very ominous, I can never say the word, ominous guy. And he's just so interesting to read about. Like every time I read Ronan, I want to learn more about him. We have Noah, who is kind of the quiet, odd one that sticks to the back, and honestly, you really never think much about Noah till you hear that huge, huge shell shocker of a secret that he was freaking dead the whole time. Like, I was like, holy crap, didn't see that one coming from 10 yards away. But yeah, Noah up until then was so quiet, so I just didn't have a really big impression on him, but I love Noah. The supernatural part of this book was so interesting. Like, the part where they went to the forest and like the trees talked to them in Latin, and Ronan found this rock where he wrote or something. And then when they were walking through the forest, the seasons changed. Like, the trees went from a summery type of greeny, and then they went to orange and stuff, and the leaves were falling, and then it went to winter when it was bare. Like, I was like, wow. And then they went to the tree area, and they saw something, and like, each person saw a different thing that would happen to them, and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. Like, and then time stopped, like even their hands on their watch kind of stopped ticking and stuff. That was crazy interesting. Even the psychic stuff was so interesting. Like, the whole supernatural part of this book was so very interesting to read. Like, I was hooked. There's really, okay, now going on different content, what I'm saying, there's no really romance in this book. Now, when you read the description, you get this kind of sense that there is going to be a romance. There is a tiny, I'd say like maybe 2% of a romance in this book with Adam and Blue, but there's no romance in this book a lot, at least not yet, I'd say. I say in the second and third book, I think we're going to get a lot more romance, which I'm okay with. Right now, I'm okay with it not being romance. Now I'm a girl and I love my romance books, but now that I know that The Raven Boys is not about that, I won't expect it. I'm just really in it for the ride, for seeking out these ley lines and stuff. Read the description of this book, we automatically think it's going to be Blue and Gansey, but in this book we get a spark of Blue and Adam, which I'm okay with, but I definitely see more Blue and Gansey happening more. Like, I can just see that happen, and like the way they equip and stuff. Like, I want to see more Blue and Gansey. I think everyone does, so I'm really excited to read that. I feel bad for Adam, but I just want some Blue and Gansey actually. Now, there were some real plot twists in this book, like plot twists I never saw coming. Like with the Noah thing, when they found that body and they found Noah's driver's license. I don't know about you, but I was like, what? Like, I did not believe that at all. Like, and with the whole Barrington Walt thing, I did call that one. I kind of knew that he was the bad guy. However, I did not see it coming that he was the one that killed Noah. Like, I was like, alright, didn't expect that one either. So I really loved the plot twist in this book. The ending of this book left us with so many freaking questions. Like, so many questions. Like, is anything gonna happen with Noah? Like, we know he's a ghost, but is there a chance of him, like, having another life again? Is that gonna be the favor that they asked for? Does Adam sacrifice himself? What does that mean? Like, did he sacrifice his body? Did he sacrifice his, like, his soul or something? Like, is Glendower like living in Adam now and speaking to them? Like, what's up with that? Like, what did he sacrifice exactly? We don't know yet. What about Ronan and his weird back tattoo? Like, what's up with that? Why does he have these dreams and stuff that he can control or not control? Dad, what's his dad? What secret is there? And I feel like his dad has everything to do with this. Like, maybe he is part of this Glendower search and that's why Ronan's in this thing. What will happen with Blue and Gansey? What will happen? And most important question is will the Raven Boys find Glendower and wake up him, and what's going to happen with that? Overall, I'm going to give this book a 4 out of 5. It loses a point because it was so very, very hard to get into, but once I got into it, and I freaking loved it, and I just cannot wait for the next one. Like, Amazon's shipping it to me right now. Bye.
me up or hold me down. Don't let me sink to the ground. Let me